Hi guys, and welcome back to Coil Life. Today we're going to be having a look at the Intake RTA from Augvape and Mike Vapes out of the States. It's a top airflow single coil RTA. A little bit of a nice unique twist on the traditional top filling system. Vape smooth. But before I go any further and give any opinions, let's drop down and have an up close and personal tour around the Intake RTA. Okay guys, so here we are with the Intake RTA from Augvape and Mike Vapes in this typical tube packaging that we're used to seeing the Augvape products these days. So Intake RTA, a collaboration project, Augvape, Mike Vapes, and you've got the Instagram Augvape official there, Facebook, Twitter, etc. You've got a little QR code and a scratch and check authenticity there. A little bit of information on the back there. So if we pop this open, inside we get a little tri-tool. So you've got a flathead screwdriver and a wider one there and a Phillips head. Nice little addition. So inside here in a little plastic baggie you'll find the tank itself. Underneath we will find some extra spares. Kind of wish they made it that you could open the bottom and get these spares out, because it isn't easy at all to get them out. But nonetheless, we'll get there. Okay, so we do get a spare straight glass, a little bag with some spare seals. We do get a second delrin 810 drip tip and a 510 drip tip adapter, a couple of spare screws. So if we have a look then at the tank itself, we can see it does come with this short stumpy blue 810 drip tip. You do have the O-ring on the inside there, so if you have any other goon style drip tips without the O-ring on the drip tip itself, they'll fit in there no problem at all. You have this nice big chunky top cap, easy to get a grip of, and it's just a simple half a turn and it pops off. You've got this little kind of almost like a nut, a little locking nut, and just pops in, locks into place and open like that, nice and easy. You've got this silicone seal on the top there to stop any leaking. You do have nice big kidney shaped filling ports, and then you also have your AFC ring. Now it does stop fully open and fully closed, and it will pop off just like so for cleaning. You've got this bubble glass, and you have the intake etched onto the chimney. Moving down then, you do have little knurl bits here to help unscrew the deck. You've got a nice protruding gold plated 510 pin. If you see on the bottom there, it is kind of angled just a little bit on the bottom as well. And you've got the Mike Vapes logo, Augvape, and a serial number. Then if we unscrew the base of the tank, you can see on the deck you've got these air tubes here, or air intakes, hence the name Intake RTA. The air comes in through your top, travels down these holes into these air intakes, and gets channeled back up and under your coil. Now this, it doesn't matter what way you put the base doesn't have to line up. It will find its way into those holes, as this section in here, it will spin, and it does spin quite freely. Okay, so if we have a closer look at this build deck, then you see we have these 3 little slots for your air to travel up and under your coil. Your coil's going to sit across like that. Your cotton's going to sit down into these little channels here, either side, and you've got these great big cutouts either side there where your juice is going to collect. It's going to soak up into the cotton and up to your coil there, and then your legs will be clamped into these little posts here, and there is a little bit of a lip on that to stop your coil, your leg of your coil, from slipping out as you tighten down the screws. So one thing I will mention about your coil, when you position this in, you want to have the legs of your coil on the bottom, so you need to wrap your coils in a clockwise manner. So I just sit that coil in just like so, just so you can see where the position of the coil would be, is just like that. You don't want the legs of your coil on the top, otherwise you might have problems with the position of your coil. You might short out on the bottom, and it's not going to be the greatest of a vape. So as you can see, there's not an awful lot of room in there either. That's a 3mm inner diameter coil as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clamp this down. Okay, so I've got my coil all clamped in position. You can see now I did space the coil just a tiny bit, just to have it just right at those wicking slots. Get the cotton right down there. See, they're clamped nicely in there. So I just need to trim off the legs of my coil. Just make sure to get it as flush as possible to the post, that there's not going to be any little bits sticking out there that could cause any sort of a short. Just trim that a little bit more. Okay, so that coil has come out to a 0.21. That will change though as we glow it. And you can see, no need to get rid of any hot spots with a space coil. Okay, so that coil then now has settled down to 0.28, which is not too bad. Right, so I just need to feed my cotton in through there. Grab my tweezers just to give that a helping hand. There we go. Okay, so as always I have trimmed out the excess cotton. Don't want too thick of a cotton going down into those holes. Just took that down. Just like that, so you can see a little bit of cotton just poking through. That's going to soak up all that juice. There we go. Okay, so we just need to get a little bit of juice on that cotton. Just get it started off. That'll do. Grab the top of our tank, and like I said, you don't need to worry about position. It'll find its way into those little holes. Screw that down nice and tight, just like that. and then all we need to do is fill it up. That's it. Grab our top cap, find the hole, that's it, done. That's the intake ready to vape. Okay guys, so that was the up close and personal tour around the Intake RTA. Now, I have to say straight off the bat, one of the things I don't like about it is the top. Just this top piece here, it just reminds me of something, I don't know, like an old Roman helmet, big top. It doesn't appeal to me. Although that little half a turn and pop that top off filling system with a little nut on it is genius. It's a brilliant idea. Some places I've seen this advertised as a unique airflow system. It's not unique by any means. We've seen this plenty of times, the top-down airflow. One of the ones that comes to mind is the Wotofo Support RTA. And you've just had the Keys or K's, Solomon 2. You've got plenty. The OBS have a top airflow. There's tons of them. But this one though, with the deck and those intake tubes, aptly named. It's a really, really good name for the tank. With all that in there on the deck, it encloses that space and it gives this thing incredible flavour. The flavour I get off this is just great, fantastic. I've got it only set at 50 watts there, more than enough power to vape this. Now, leak proof, it's only going to be leak proof so long as you put enough cotton in there that it's not going to flood the deck, and then when you tip it on the sides you're not going to have juice pouring out of those intake holes. But all in all, I mean, it's not a pretty tank by any means. I just don't like that big top. It's oh, what was that? Battlestar Galactica, the robot helmet thing. It just reminds me of something like that. This bottom piece here, I don't know whether you'll be able to pick that up on the camera very, very well. It's sort of beveled and angled upwards, so it just doesn't look like it's sitting flush, and for those people with OCD, that would be a turn off. Other than that, wicking on this thing, you've got to get your wicking right. If you put too much cotton down there, you're just going to get a dry hit. This thing, it is, because it's a single coil as well, when you're vaping on it, sometimes if you put too much cotton down there, it's not going to keep up and you're going to end up with a dry hit. It took me a few times, I'll have to admit, but building on it to breeze, those the posts, open posts, so you can just slot your coil in nice and easy. I got fuse Clapton, as you saw in there. It's easy to build on. Wicking, there's a learning curve with the wicking, but once you get it right, this thing is very, very, very satisfying. And it's keeping up. You can see the little air bubbles coming up there, so it is wicking a dream. The airflow it's nice and smooth. There is that restrictiveness to it. It's not like many RTAs out there that's just full on lungfuls of air. This because your air's got to come in, down and then come back up, there is that sort of restriction to it, which I think probably adds to the flavour that you get off this as well. price point on these, I think they're coming in around about £25–30 in the UK, thereabouts. I will pop a couple of links in the description below for you to have a look at, and if you want to get your hands on one of these, do so by all means. They are cheap. Augvape is not a bad company whatsoever. But from me, that's all I've got time for. As always, links will be in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't already done so, please do hit that subscribe button below, and we'll catch you next time.